Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details. We are back for more content from the Creator Summit at Cars Plays Warehouse, and you asked, I'm answering. Here's your top questions for Mckees37.
So Nick, I had a lot of viewers submit questions because they wanted to ask you specific questions about Mckees37 and about your products. So, are you ready?
Well, yeah, why am I in such a small, hot room, Chelsea? I feel like I'm being interrogated. I mean,
No, not at all.
is this like mind games or something?
No, but
Okay.
you are going to be upfront and honest with us.
Absolutely.
All right, so first up, is graphene real?
Yes.
Can you explain that a little bit?
What would you like me to explain?
What part of graphene are you guys including in your ceramic coatings?
So graphene is a real, tangible ingredient, and it's something that we spent quite a lot of time, not just testing, but also making sure that there was a business case for it. Graphene is real, and graphene is absolutely incredible. When formulated correctly. When formulated incorrectly, it can be a bear to work with, and it won't be as good as a traditional SiO2 if it's not formulated in a certain way, which we've completely dialed in, as you've seen from the performance of our coatings.
So, in the past, you didn't have the most favorable opinion about graphene. One of my viewers wanted to know, what changed your mind about graphene?
Well, when graphene first came out, when we analyzed the products that were out there, it was really a big question mark because what we saw were a lot of products that just had like a graphene dye added to them and graphene powder, just for the sake of looking at the bottle and going, wow, look at these solids, these chunks of black floating at the bottom. And again, when I just going back to my previous answer to the other question, when it's not formulated correctly, there's really no benefit, and it's actually not as good as SiO2. So the products that we were testing were more difficult to wipe off. They weren't as hydrophobic as SiO2, at least not our products. So we had to obtain various different types of graphene because graphene is not just one variation, there's a lot to it. Graphene is used in other industries too, so it's actually used for treatment of cancer. There's a lot more to graphene than just a graphene component that goes into a ceramic car care product.
So what makes a graphene ceramic coating different from another coating with SiO2 or polysilazane?
So that's a good question. So the graphene in our testing and with our formulas, it's actually more flexible than SiO2. It gives a higher gloss, and the biggest thing is that it's easier to use, which, as you know, Chelsea, our ceramic coating is already crazy easy to wipe off. The graphene is even easier yet. So another difference is that you don't have the same issue with water spots that you do with the traditional SiO2. So you're a lot less likely to get water spots during the curing process that will be found trapped in the coating later on.
Okay, next up, why is graphene so expensive?
Because it's a very concentrated ingredient. In any given graphene coating, there's actually not a whole lot of graphene in it because you reach what you call a saturation point where you put so much in there where it's actually detrimental if you put more of that ingredient. And this is a very poor comparison. But think about hot sauce, on something that you eat, okay? A little bit of hot sauce is good, but if you completely douse your nachos in hot sauce, guess what? It's no longer good. Or, you can use that comparison with a number of different things. So graphene, it's very concentrated, it's very expensive, it's very difficult to manufacture, and you don't have to use a whole lot of it. And that's one of the reasons it makes it so unique too.
Someone asked, when prepping for the coating, can you use a panel prep white? Can you use IPA? Or can you use your prep polish?
Yeah, so I don't like IPA at all. I've probably said hundreds of times at this point in videos alone, don't use IPA. You guys spend all this time making sure the paint is perfect. You wash it, you clay it, you iron decon, you polish it, and I've seen it over and over again. People get the paint perfect, and then they use alcohol. Alcohol is a terrible lubricant. Alcohol is best used to disinfect the cut. Okay, it's not best used in a garage to remove polishing oil. So don't use alcohol, it's a poor lubricant. And it also, a lot of times, it's not strong enough to actually remove some of the polishing oil. So we have our coating prep spray, which we showcased in another video, that contains alcohol. It also contains surfactants, and it also contains polymers. So all those ingredients work together to encapsulate the polishing oils so they can be safely wiped away without scratching the paint.
Now, can you use your prep polish?
You can use the prep polish too. So we have our coating prep polish, which is non-abrasive, and that is designed, originally we came out with that for the end user just to keep it really, really, really simple. You can use that. It does not leave any kind of polishing oils behind, so you use that before the coating. Of course, after you do the iron decon, the clay and all that. But to be honest with you, Chelsea, I'm a big fan of using our complete finishing polish as showcased in the other video because It's micro abrasive. It feels like hand lotion. It's not aggressive at all, but it just, what it does with the paint is almost magical. It really enhances the gloss, even for a brand new car, and then follow with the coating prep spray to ensure everything's been removed.
So if I wanted to reapply this product at the end of its life, how would I go about doing that? Could I just reapply more product over top of it? Or do I have to completely polish the entire vehicle over again?
Completely polish it all over again. So your paint is going to get dirty, it's going to get contaminated. You want to remove all the coating and any kind of embedded dirt, road film, anything like that before reapplying the coating. So basically you just go through the process again.
Can you add a second layer to this coating? And if so, how long after applying the fresh product?
So you can apply a second layer, though it's not necessary and it's not recommended. And the reason why is because we have the maximum amount of graphene in this product. So it's what you call a high solids formula. Other coating manufacturers, they say, apply this coat and then apply an extra or a third, or wait 3.5 hours and apply this topper. You don't have to do that with this product. So just one coat. The issue that you run into is if you apply too much product, then it's going to drag out that curing time. So if you apply too much, meaning more than one coat, then what will happen is the coating's not going to fully cure in the desired time frame, meaning 24 hours. So the risk you run is that later on, a couple of days later, if it rains, there's a chance, and again, it's a chance, not guaranteed to happen, that you'll have water spots trapped in the coating, and then you have to polish it to remove them.
OG graphene versus 2.0.
So the graphene ceramic coating, that's our 5-year, and the Pro Coat, that contains more graphene. That's the biggest difference. So human desire is infinite, which I always say. People wanted something even stronger, which, you know, when I present it to my chemist, he's just scratching his head. He's like, what do you mean stronger? This is, for all intents and purposes, our regular 5-year coating, it's really never going to wear off. Okay, so the Pro version is just absolute insanity. So it has a little more graphene. It'll last even longer, believe it or not. It's thicker, and it's just a slight bit glossier. It's not a lot glossier, just a slight bit. It's marginal.
Which one do you like best?
I like the Pro Coat. I mean, that's what I have on my cars. You know, I'm a man, and we're in America. Bigger's better, you know. But the regular, though, is hands down the volume leader because, you know, detailers like yourself, they love the big 4-ounce size. It's a phenomenal value. Right now, the retail price for the 4 ounce is $150. You know, like I said, you can get, an average person can get 4 cars out of that one bottle. So you break it down cost per application, it comes out to like what, $35, $40 an application, and you're selling this to your customers for $800, $1,500, $2,000. So it's it'll make a ton of money for you. Or if you're an end user, you know, you apply yourself, you save a ton of money versus paying someone to do it for you.
So the 2.0, you claim on your website that it can either last a lifetime or up to 10 years, which I don't think any car is going to stay in your garage that long. You're going to honestly get bored with it, trade it in.
Sure.
So how do you get a coating to last 10 years?
So first and foremost, nothing lasts forever. Okay, we don't last forever. So 10 years, the way we came to that conclusion was based on durability testing, which is mostly done in a lab, but that's also taken into consideration real-world testing, including your testing of our regular graphene coating. So to say after 10 years and 1 day what's going to happen is the coating to be falling off the surface, or you're going to walk out to your garage and see a pool of graphene coating 10 years and 1 day after you apply it. No, that's not how it works. It's a slow process over time where it slowly begins to fade away, and of course you'll maintain it using the graphene auto wash and the hydrographene ceramic coating. But to be honest with you, Chelsea, for some people it might last 8 years. For other people it'll last 20 years or 15 years. I mean, there's so many variables, as you know, as a detailer, that come into play. But if we came out with the coating and we said this coating is permanent, then people would they would think that it was snake oil. They would think that, you know, we're making false claims. So you have to attach a durability rating to anything. But as you've already done, I would suggest that you put our coating against anyone else's, consumer or professional, and review the results for yourself.
So there you have it, guys. You asked, he answered. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate your honesty. And if you guys have any other questions about Mckees37, about Nick Rutter, about any of their products, let me know in the comment section down below. Keep watching. We'll see you guys in the very next detail. Have a great day.
Take care. God bless, guys.